Ad Council and your state forester.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
In the wake of a hurricane, your monetary donation can make a huge difference to those in need. To donate, visit supporthurricanerelief.org. That's supporthurricanerelief.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Mark with WFMCJams.com. Make sure you check out TSAI, the first Saturday every month, coming to you live from the Opry Mills Mall from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
What is this madness? What is this madness?
Welcome to Midnight Madness.
I look at Midnight Madness for the novice as the gateway drug to the festival experience.
Midnight madness, midnight madness, midnight madness, yeah.
Madness. You're gonna get it, the Midnight Madness. You're gonna get it, the Midnight Madness. You're gonna get it, the Midnight Madness. You're gonna get it.
And now the Midnight Madness Show. Here's your host, the DJ Doctor.
Well, I'm not the DJ Doctor. He is somewhere in Indianapolis playing hooky tonight, so you're stuck with me. I am the hillbilly heartthrob. Everybody loves that. Brian's out down there in Pulaski flipping switches and dialing knobs and making it look like Space Central down there. I'm sure he's not ready to talk yet, but...
No, I'm never ready to talk.
Oh, well, that doesn't surprise me. How's things going down there in Pulaski?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Well, I think I'm alive. We have to dock some pay for the DJ Doctor tonight.
Yeah, that's it always throws everything off when he's not here.
Right. One of us, yeah. If I don't show up, it still throws things off. Well, let's go ahead and introduce our guest tonight. We have Mr. Richard Lynch.
Well, hey, thanks for having me. Yes, sir.
Richard, let's go ahead and jump into a song, and then we'll start to get to know you some.
Sounds good. Here's a song I wrote a while back. Kind of makes reference to the old farm boy that I am. Growing up in the country, I remember well how I loved the simple way of life. There was lots of work to do. We had fun there too. Seemed like we were always fixing that old barn roof. When the weekend came, we'd all ride into town, listening to Paul Harvey and the Farm Report. I didn't know back then, I'd miss it now. What a boy can learn at the old feed store. Life was so much easier back then. My mind goes back there to when simple riding Dad's pickup truck, making memories galore down at the old feed store. I've had so many blessings, more than I deserve, and I'm thankful for all the things I got. I'm thankful for direction and all of those corrections. Mom and Dad, they taught me quite a lot. If I lived to be 100. I got no regrets. I could have never asked for anything more than the country way of living, and the fact that I was given a chance to be around that old feed store. Life was so much easier back then. My mind goes back there to when simple riding dad's pickup truck, making memories galore. Down at the old feed store. Down at the old feed store.
Great way to start. Richard Lynch, everybody.
Thank you.
Richard, we was talking off air. Let's go ahead and tell everybody else where you're from.
Well, I come from a little old town called Waynesville, Ohio, which is about 30 miles north of Cincinnati, 20 miles south of Dayton, that southwestern part of Ohio up there.
Now, how long have you been in the Nashville area?
Well, I've been recording since 5 or 6 years or so. I've been playing music. My first paid gig actually was in June of 1978, so I've been doing it for a day or two.
Oh, just a day or two, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But you know, we've been in and out of Nashville an awful lot. Played 6 nights a week for many decades. You know, that music industry thing has no longer there as far as that ability, or very little ability to play 6 nights a week these days. But I have a traveling band. We work all over the country. I love the fact that we can keep and perform and play real traditional country music. There's such a need for it these days.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
And, you know, wherever we go, whether it's Michigan or Florida or Maine or Iowa, Texas, you pick it, they really seem to clamor to the fact that I've kept my music traditional. And I'm thankful because, you know, a lot of folks can pretend to be something. I don't do that. I'm just a straight ahead traditional country artist. I grew up in a household where country music was a way of life. My dad was an incredible singer. I got about that much of his talent. And, you know, I just knew at a young age that traditional country music is what I wanted to do.
Well, you and I have something in common there.
What's that?
The traditional country thing. I grew up dreaming of the Opry stage.
Yeah.
Through the 70s and 80s and 90s. And to me, personally, I think the 90s was the last best decade.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that 100%. People like Brooks and Dunn, Alan Jackson, you know, Clint Black, on and on and on. And those folks from the 90s, man, some of the best music, in my opinion, ever recorded.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Richard, let's jump another song, and then we'll come back and talk some more.
Let's do it. This kind of makes mention of the fact that, well, I'll just sing this song. I'll let the song speak for itself. I pressed the gas pedal hard, my pickup truck, driving up the interstate. When I heard a song come on the radio, I thought, oh wow, that sounds like George Strait. So I drove a little longer, the signal got stronger, and the disc jockey spoke on the air. He said, thank you folks for listening. The real country is what you're missing. There's no need to go anywhere. They don't play them like that today, and all the feeling's gone. Why'd they go and take that sound away? The sound of a good old country song. Don't they know that a steel guitar can melt your heart, take your blues away? They don't play them like that no more, and all the feeling's gone. I guess I had about another 30 miles to drive. Conway's voice started to fade. Through the snapping and the cracking on my radio, that's where that station stayed. I knew I found it accidentally, and I didn't have it in me to turn the dial on tight fitting jeans. I guess the disc jockey knew he was getting through when Conway started singing to me. They don't play 'em like that today, and all the feeling's gone. Why'd they go and take that sound away, the sound of a good old country song? Don't they know that a steel guitar can melt your heart and take your blues away? They don't play 'em like that no more, and all the feeling's gone. I mean to tell you that a steel guitar can melt your heart and take your blues away. They don't play 'em like that no more, and all the feeling's gone. They don't play 'em like that no more, the feeling's gone.
We seem to have lost your guitar a little bit. They don't.
Any better?
Is that any better there, Brian?
How about that?
I still got a hum.
Still got a hum?
That's a little clearer. I need to fix my talent knob. That's what the problem is.
I think I found something. Is that better, Brian?
Oh man.
We had a loose wire over there at the box.
All right.
All right. I lost my train of thought there for a second. My apologies. Oh, before we get much further, I do have to do a quick shout out to Chris over there at Heat FM Radio. Thank you for sharing the music, Chris. It's always a pleasure to be in New York. And also to Lisa T down in Alabama with Alabama Jams. It is a great pleasure to be on your station as well. So, Richard, you travel all over the world right now playing your music.
I do.
What's some of your favorite places to play?
Well, I'm going to tell you, ironically enough, some of my favorite places to play is between Michigan and Texas. Some of the coolest people on earth come from Michigan. They love real
thank you.
country music. And then we get down in Texas, they go bat crap crazy over that traditional country music. They'll go down there for the winter, and when I say they, I mean all these folks that gravitate from North Dakota. I mean, pick a spot. They go down to Texas in the wintertime, and they come down to hear real country music. So we enjoy playing there. And I'm from Ohio, and we got a lot of folks that love that traditional sound in and around Ohio. My dad comes from Eastern Kentucky, and so that kind of gives me the giveaway as to why I have such influence on that traditional country music. But I haven't met a person yet that I didn't love to play for. But I tell you what, the coolest people in the world, I will have to say, is from Michigan.
Thanks again. I like this guy more and more. Do you have anything available to purchase, either through website or?
Oh yeah, we got all kinds of material. We got 4 studio albums. We just released our most recent album, "Think I'll Carry It On," which makes reference to the fact that there's a need for real traditional country music, and I'm glad that I wrote or co-wrote every one of the songs on there.
Awesome.
And then we have T-shirts. My wife has got all kinds of merchandise, whether it's stress relievers, whether it's shot glasses. You go on richardlynchband.com and you'd be amazed what she's created. My goodness, she's a marketing guru, I can tell you that.
You have a couple of people talking to you here on Facebook.
Hey!
Barbara Bailey says, awesome.
Hey, Barbara Bailey.
And Sherry, I'm going to screw up the last name, I know. Shropshire? She said she's also from Ohio.
Well, it might be Sherry Shophocker, and if it is, I want to say a special hello to those fine folks. She's a lifelong friend, and we think very highly of those fine folks.
What's next? Where are you going from here?
Well, Friday night I'm performing in Cincinnati, Ohio. Saturday night Friday night we're doing a big old concert. It's a outside festival we're playing. Saturday night we go to northern Michigan. I believe the closest town is Ludington, Michigan. We're playing in a little old community called Custer, Michigan. It's a 1,200-acre facility that we do once a year, a concert, me and my guys, to raise money and make awareness for veterans. We're big supporters of the veterans, and as far as I'm concerned, we can't do enough
Absolutely.
to help those guys
Absolutely.
and gals. And once a year we go up there, and that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy Michigan so much is because they don't ask for anything. They being the veterans, and they'll walk up to you and they'll thank me for what I'm doing. And it's real easy to get emotional when you see these guys that's disfigured and the ones that you wouldn't know if you didn't know what their situation was. By that I mean the PTSD. They have some,
right.
But they're so appreciative of the fact that there's somebody out there that thinks enough of them to do a concert once a year to raise money and make awareness of this place called the Whirlwind Lodge that makes support for these guys and gals that's done so much for us. I'm pretty proud of that.
That's awesome.
I have a song that was called, I co-wrote, it's called Love Tattoo, and it makes mention of the fact that, there is people out there that appreciate the men and women of the military. And if you don't mind, I'd like to perform that.
Absolutely. I want to hear it.
All right. He loves his God, his kids, his wife. For them, he gladly give his life. He served his country as many do, and he came home with a love tattoo. I remember when the soldier walked past. He paused as he heard a young child ask, "Where'd you get that scar I see on you?" He smiled and said, "It's not a scar, it's my love tattoo." The soldier said, "To keep our world more safe for you." I cried, and I'd let as many do. I did what I knew I had to do. No, it's not a scar, it's my love tattoo. His love tattoo is a symbol to remind him how we fought with pride for our red, white, and blue. If Uncle Sam asked him to stand with our soldiers in some foreign land, he'd unpack his uniform, combat boots, and with honor bring back home a new love tattoo. My love tattoo helps me recall some of my friends who gave their all. They fought and died as many do, so I'm proud to wear my love tattoo. He loves his God, his kids, his wife. For them, he'd gladly give his life. He served his country like heroes do, and he came home with a love tattoo. Yes, he came home with a love tattoo.
What a beautiful song. I love that.
Thank you. You know, people hear the name tattoo and they wrote right away, they think about ink, and I quickly correct them. It's all about that experience that they came back serving our country. That's the love tattoo.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always say you can't do enough for the men and women who are out trying to keep us safe and keep us here free.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that I guess take for granted what we have here, and it don't take much to I think the rumor is, or the word is, that we're one generation away from not having this freedom. So I want to do my part to spread the fact that we need to respect and keep our country, make sure people understand how lucky we have it here in this country.
Absolutely. Well, you can go back to Merle Haggard with one line in The Fight Inside of Me. If you don't love it, leave it.
We'll help you pack.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't make any bones about it. I'm through and through red, white, and blue, all-American country boy, and I love the fact that I can do what I love to do. And, America's the greatest as far as I'm concerned.
Brian, do we need to talk about what happened last weekend with the WC Handy Festival at all, or?
That would be the DJ doctor.
And he's not on yet. He's off hiding.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at tonight. He's always hiding.
Well, we did 2 weeks ago, we did the vinyl show live on location for the first time out of state. We were in Alabama. We did a vinyl show at, my mind went
New Wave Vinyl.
Thank you. New Wave Vinyl in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. We were down there doing the vinyl show there. Had a great time. The best part was I didn't have to take any of my records or my equipment. We just showed up and played the stuff that they had for sale, which was really cool. Gave us a chance to experience some new music that we may not have got to hear otherwise. But our next vinyl show comes up August 11th. We're going to be on location at Nashville Palace for the record convention. And that's going to we got Rockin' Pod the day before. Is that correct, Brian?
Yeah, Rockin' Pod will be Friday and Saturday.
Awesome. That's going to be a very busy weekend for us, but a lot of fun. Anything else we need to talk about, Brian, and get out there?
Yeah, I'm on the terrible mic, so hopefully this isn't echoing or something. But
no, you sound good at the moment.
We do have. Oh, okay. We do have this weekend coming up. Some great stuff going on. Saturday, or actually Friday. Let's see, Friday and Saturday. You got reggae at the Smooth Rapids going on.
That's right.
It's going to be a great weekend of reggae and a lot of good music there. And over in Gallatin, be the Fire on the Water Festival. Another great festival. It's going to be our first time over there and our second year at Smooth Rapids. So we're going to be covering both of those this weekend. So be sure to tune in and listen live for some interviews and coverage from those. And going to be fun.
Going to be another busy weekend for us. I believe that I'm supposed to be going to the Smooth Rapids if everything happens like it's supposed to. So, and I think you guys are going to their festival. That's how that's going to work.
Yes.
Richard, let's go ahead and play our song, man.
All right.
I'm enjoying this.
Well, country music to me is a wide diversity platform that we get influenced by multiple artists. I love people from George Jones to Waylon Jennings to, people like Confederate Railroad. I'm influenced by people like Bob Wills.
Oh, yeah.
I'm influenced by those magical names that's been around for, all of my life. But probably the most influence I got was from a guy by the name of Woody Lynch, was with my dad. And he taught me to respect people, tell people the truth. If you say something, do it. Don't just, your word's all you got. And I'm proud of the fact that I can say that with pride. And, I wrote a song called We're American Proud, and it makes mention of a lot of different things in this country that means a lot to me. We got American pride. We stand side by side. We talk clear and loud. We're American proud. California to Maine, our freedom's the same. From the backwoods to big towns, we're American proud. Here's to that truck driving pal. They put in the mile. All our farmers and friends, whose day never ends, with our soldiers in mind. They leave no one behind. To God we'll keep our heads bowed. We're American proud. Look at the pride in our eyes. There's no way to disguise. No, you can't keep us down. We're American proud. Here's to our truck driving pals. They put in the miles. All our farmers and friends, whose day never ends, with our soldiers in mind. They leave no one behind. To God we'll keep our heads bowed. We're American proud. God bless America. We're American proud. We're American proud.
Great song.
Oh, thank you.
That's one thing I miss is the stories. There doesn't seem to be any stories in the new country, unless you're talking about Daisy Dukes and pickup trucks and getting drunk.
Yeah. And they make mention of a bale of hay, and I'm pretty sure they've never seen one before.
Absolutely. We talked earlier. You said you have 4 albums out, correct?
Yes, sir.
And where can people pick those up?
Actually, if you go to richardlynchband.com, you can find out everything you need to know about this old farm boy from southwestern Ohio. Make sure you go to Richard Lynch Band, because there's a Richard Lynch who's a scary actor out there. You don't want to reach that guy. But richardlynchband.com, that's the best way to find me.
That's great. And people can purchase right from your website the music?
Absolutely. And we have a really cool venue on our farm that I'd like to plug, if I may. Once a month, we bring in a Grand Ole Opry star at our farm there in Waynesville, Ohio.
Nice.
June through October, The month of June, we had Leona and Ron Williams. Wow. Those
Wonderful,
guys,
wonderful people.
some of the best people on earth. Great songwriters.
Yes.
Just had Leroy Parnell last week with us.
Wow.
And for the month of August, we got one of my heroes, T.G. Shepherd,
Wow.
coming to the barn to perform with us. And then
I may need directions to the barn.
we'd love to have you. Hey, David Frizzell is coming in September. Me and David has done some things together.
I like old David.
What a singer, what a songwriter, what a country music family. My goodness.
Yeah.
And then to wrap up our season at the farm in October will be Mel Tillis Jr.
Very
Does
cool.
a tribute to his dad, and he's bringing around most of the Statesiders, which was Mel's road band that he traveled with all over the world. So we're keeping that real traditional country music alive in our neck of the woods. Of course, we play all over the place as well. So, but make mention of RichardLynchBand.com. If any of those names sounded like it might be fun to come see, well, do that, or we might be in your neck of the woods in the country somewhere. So,
yeah, definitely go out and check these guys out when they're in your area. How big is the band?
I work a 6-piece band. I'm the acoustic player and lead singer, and then we work a steel guitar, drummer, bass, keyboard, and lead. And every one of the guys sing, harmonize, with the exception of the steel guitar player. Every now and then he'll look up because he keeps his nose right down on that steel. But, we have an absolute blast. There's nothing more gratifying for me to see people come and spend their money to buy a ticket to where we're playing or buy my merchandise or, there's nothing more gratifying on earth than to be able to shake their hand, hug their neck, and get to know them for just a few minutes, if nothing else. But, man, what a way to enjoy life, playing music and keeping that traditional country alive and well and meeting great folks out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm enjoying the music, Richard. Why don't we go ahead and jump another song?
All right. Well, I keep making mention of my dad. He influenced me a whole bunch, and I lost Dad back in 2001. One day I was grabbing my guitar, and this is kind of what came out. I guess I'd been dreaming this morning. As I awakened, my dream seemed so real. The voice of an angel had spoken. I can't explain how his words made me feel. The message he told me was simple. Said your granddad and grandma was fine. He told me God's almighty hands were so gentle. We'll all be back together sometime. One breath away, one breath away. Every one of us on God's green earth is one breath away. It's gonna be okay, I heard the angels say. Your daddy's alright, he's in heaven tonight, and everything's okay. I know this old world keeps on turning, and some say time takes the pain away. If I'm lucky, I'll keep on learning as I grow a little older each day. I'm thankful for so many memories, and now to watch my own kids grow tall. Love and life have so many mysteries, but it's no mystery God loves us all. One breath away, one breath away. Every one of us on God's green earth is one breath away. It's gonna be okay, I heard the angels say. Your daddy's alright, he's in heaven tonight, and everything's okay. One breath away, one breath away. Every one of us on God's green earth is one breath away.
Another great song. You've got some people chiming in on Facebook. Claude said it was a beautiful song, and he's from Canada.
Hey, Claude. Love Canada.
So thank you for joining us, Claude. We're always thankful to have you here.
Absolutely.
You have lit us up tonight on Facebook.
Well, we've been known to do that before, and I'm going to tell you, I don't necessarily believe it's necessarily me, but I think it's the fact that I'm keeping real traditional country music out there, and there's such a need for that.
Absolutely.
I wish to goodness that we could get through to these people that's putting it on the radio how important it is to keep that traditional country music out there.
I think it's going to come back around eventually.
Well, I hope so.
There is a real hunger for it. And you're seeing more people like the Chris Stapletons and those coming back that are trying to put the traditional back into it just a little bit.
You know, I would like to think so. I hope so. I want to see that happen so bad. But in all honesty, you know, the fact that, you know, the pop sound of today's country has really done me an awful lot of good because, you know, I'm getting to play my music all over the place. I'm doing radio shows, TV shows, things that maybe I never would have happened if there hadn't been, you know, such a, you know, a direct change, I guess you might say, in the music. So I'm thankful that I get to do what I do, but fortunately enough, it's I've kept it country. I can't do anything else anyhow, so I'm glad I kept it country.
Absolutely. You've been into business now, you said, since the 70s? So 40 years?
My first paid gig was June 1978. At that time, I was 14 years old. I knew the grand total, me and a banjo player, knew the grand total of 9 songs. And he came to the house one day. He said, "Richard, I got us our first gig." I'm like, "Cool. We're playing for a wedding reception." I said, "All right, that's great." So we got to play the American Legion there in Lebanon, Ohio. And like I mentioned, we knew 9 songs. And when we played those 9, we just started over, played them all over again. And they paid us anyhow. Pretty cool story.
That's cool. You know, I heard little Jimmy Dickens talking about that one time. He said he was out playing on a street corner. He said he had about 9 songs. He said after he got to the 9th song, the crowd would start to move so he could start back over from the top again and do it again.
That's great. You get away with it. I had a little more tight quarters that night, but I still got away with it.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you said some of your upcoming dates and places coming up.
Yes, sir.
Is that all with the band or solo or both? Or
You know, I'm kind of funny. I really almost 98% of the time play with a full band, and that's so important to me because, you know, I want the sound that's on that record.
Right.
I want people to know that I care enough to, you know, give them as close to that record as I possibly can. Now, there's an occasion where, me and a bass player and a guitar player, or me and a piano player and a guitar player will do something, kind of obscure every now and then. But I really want to keep that full sound out there. And fewer and fewer people are doing that. But that's okay. That's just what I love.
That's great.
Yeah. The financial end of things can be tight.
Yeah.
And, but, to me, we're paying the bills. We're making $1 or $2. We're not getting rich by any means. But the coolest thing is that I get to connect with people who want to hear this kind of music.
Now, throughout your career,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've got to do some rather interesting and fun things.
I have.
Is there anything that sticks out that maybe opening for this person or played with this person or something of that nature that comes to mind that you really enjoyed?
Well, there's a lot of that. Me and my wife, Donna, got to go over to Ireland and perform with David Frizzell and his wife, Jo.
Very nice.
And we were there, and we had gotten to perform, I think, the last couple of days there on the tour with them. And the crowd just went crazy because they really loved what we were doing over there. And I was so amazed because in my mind, I didn't have any idea that Europe was that crazy about traditional country music. Got over there, and boy, was I enlightened how they are just crazy over that sound. And, that's just one thing that comes to mind. I've worked with a lot of people like, Shenandoah, and I've worked with a lot of the stars over the years. My mind's, there's so many I'm not even coming to my mind right now, but the thing that's really the coolest is the fact that they're so gracious. You look at these people that I've been influenced by all my life, and you thought, wow, these guys played with Elvis, like T.G. Shepherd. I've done a show with him or two, and have one coming up. And here this guy's played with Elvis and played all over the world. You just never know, but some of the nicest people in the world you ever want to meet are these people that I played with. And that really does my heart good because, not only are they great musicians, but they're good people too. And that's, it makes us pretty special to get to do that with them.
I've got to ask. Now, you say you did a couple shows with David.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever go to David's house?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, when you walk in, is there a bar? Did he hire a wino to decorate his home?
Well, not that I recall, but there might have been one.
I'm sorry. It was there.
David, if you're listening, correct me if there is one, buddy.
Party at David's tonight. I used to cover that with my band. Hire a wino.
Oh, yeah.
We go out and play.
You still perform?
Yes.
That's great.
Matter of fact, I host a writer's round once a month at Mont Eagle, and we record it to play on the station. And I've had some hit writers like Jan Buckingham as my guest. I've had, of course, this show has brought, you talked about Ron and Leona, both have been on the show. We've had Jimmy Payne, who wrote Woman, Woman.
Oh, man.
He's been here as well. Just plenty of great singer-songwriters have been right where you're at.
That's awesome.
I believe we have something coming up in September with Ronnie McDowell.
Oh, man. Me and Ronnie McDowell actually recorded that song Love Tattoo together as a duet. And I neglected to mention that until just now. And Ronnie, I understand, did 3 tours of duty in Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
And, I've always loved his music. And then I got to know that and get to know around Ronnie. And, I love the man. He's the great guy. He's the real deal. Nothing pretentious about him. Just down-home country boy and a lot of fun to work with. We're going to do a New Year's Eve show with Ronnie McDowell this year.
That's great. I got to sing with Ronnie one time. Now, he's not going to remember that, but I do.
You bet.
We did Older Women together in a high school gymnasium in Hillsdale, Michigan.
That's great.
Yeah, he had come through, and I kind of cornered him at the outside, and I talked him into it.
That's great. That's just what I mean. They're approachable. These people are real
Absolutely.
people just like
Yeah.
us,
Absolutely.
I think that's what's so cool about the traditional country folks is because, yeah, they're successful and their name is everywhere and they get to play all over the world, but bottom line, they're just like us. They don't really act like they're anything special. I love that about them.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a chance to meet quite a few and sing with some, and I'm very thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm drawing a blank. I don't normally get to do all the talking. I have one other person with me most of the time, which is the DJ doctor. He was going to come on remotely, but they're having some... Is he on? No.
No, he's having issues tonight with the getting on. I don't know. All these technical problems, you know.
Right. It's internet. We can do whatever we want. That's always goes right with the internet. Brian, is there something else you want to touch base on?
Not that I know of, not at the moment.
Thanks for the help, Brian. I greatly appreciate it.
Well, I've been trying to help DJ Doctor out over here. You know,
I'm watching you run all over the screen doing a bunch of different things, and it's all Greek to me. Richard, let's do another song.
I would love to. You know, I played that song "We're American Proud" a little while ago, and I was doing a 3-state radio tour: Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas. And we're going on all these cool radio stations around the countryside promoting that song, "We're American Proud." Well, we just had left a radio station, and our phone rang. Me and my wife were driving down the interstate, and the phone rang, and it was our manager, Randy Hayford, said, "Hey, listen, there's a radio station out of California that's really interested in doing an interview with you. Would you mind doing it?" I said, well, we're driving down the road, but if you don't mind me driving, I'll sure do it. Well, we no sooner hung the phone up, than the phone rang again, and it's just this disc jockey from California. And he said, "Richard, I really love your music." And I sure said, "Well, I sure thank you so much." And he said, "As busy as you are, I see you're traveling a lot." He said, "I think the Lord must be with you." And I just laughingly said, "Well, I'd like to think so, and I surely hope so." Well, the conversation went on, and we talked about the song. And toward the end of the interview, he said, "Richard, do you mind if we pray on the radio?" And I had never been asked that before, and may never be asked that again. Well, I was kind of amazed. I kind of went into shock for him, and I realized, you know, I'm listening to a song. I'm living a song right now during this conversation. Well, never before would there be a pad of paper anywhere, but there was a pad of paper between me and my wife in that truck that day. And never would you find a pen or a pencil with a search warrant, but there was a pen right there on the dash. So I got my phone to the left ear. I'm trying to steer with my right hand, and then I'm steering with my leg, and I grab this pen, and I'm trying to write these lyrics down that's coming to me while I'm driving down the interstate. My wife looks over at me, and she has 2 big white eyes, big as silver dollars, for fear that we're going to get us killed driving down the road. So she grabs a pad of paper, and she grabs a pen, and she writes what she hears me say during this interview from California, and this is what happened. "I've been writing my songs and telling my stories. I finally got my songs played on the radio. I'd been doing interviews around the country, and then one day a DJ asked me, 'Can I pray with you?' He said, 'Do you mind if we pray on the radio? Do you mind we talk about the Lord?' I truly believe that God's watching over you. You know there's no better company than Jesus while you're out on the road. Well, I told the DJ right then I'd be more than happy share my thoughts and inspirations about my songs. I'm thankful God likes my music enough to ride with me. So if you're hearing my country music, then know that Jesus tags along. Do you mind if we pray on the radio? Do you mind we talk about the Lord? I truly believe that God's watching over you. You know there's no better company than Jesus while you're out on the road. I know there's no better company than Jesus while we're out on the road.
Absolutely beautiful song. Claude said that's his new favorite.
Oh, thank you, Claude.
Is that one available?
It is. It's on. It's actually on our brand new album. I think I'll carry it on right now. It's one of the songs that is on our new album. I mentioned I wrote all 12 or co-wrote all of them, and you know that's one of those songs that you may never. I may never experience anything like that again. It's almost like it's divine intervention how that song came to be. I kind of give a little bit of explanation how it was how it came to be, and something that I may never experience anything like that again. I hope I do, but
right.
I like to use another good song, you know.
Absolutely, understood. We're coming up quickly to the end of the show. I want to thank you so much for being our guest today.
Oh man, what a blast!
We've really enjoyed having you. We've got time for one more song.
Well, you know, I don't have my capo anywhere close, but if I can get my pretty wife to grab that one there for me,
she does make you look good.
She has that ability. She does. Bless her heart, she did everything in the world for me, and she told me a long time ago when we first got in the studio back in 2013 was the first time we ever recorded an album, and she got in there, and we had some success with the music, and she said, let's go on tour and play different things. I said, okay, we'll do it. But the only thing is, if you don't go, I don't go. So anyhow, I want to say thank you, folks, and all you listeners for letting me be a part of this show. And if I can remember the words of this song here, I would really be grateful that I can do this here song called Back in 1953. I get to play this old guitar my daddy gave to me. It was made in a time before I was born, 1953. I'd like to have been around back then, see what I could see, maybe understand just how the man gave his love of music to me. Think I'll carry it on, playing my song the way my daddy did when I was a kid in our country home. 1,000 memories flowing through me. I hope I'm good enough like my daddy was back in 1953. Sometimes I feel a presence coming over me when I play this guitar from my heart. Is it really him or me? who will play this old guitar when my days are done? Will they still have the love for the music from old country songs? Hope they carry it on, playing their songs the way I did when I was a kid in our country home. 1,000 memories flowing through the breeze. I hope they're good enough like my daddy was back in 1953. I'd like to carry it on, playing my song the way my daddy did when I was a kid in our country home. 1,000 memories flowing through me. I hope I'm good enough like my daddy was back in 1953. I hope I measure up to how my daddy was back in 1953.
What a great song. Great song. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Well, it's come to the end of the show. Richard, I want to thank you again for making a trip and being our guest tonight and being part of the new family. So also want to thank Heat FM Radio and Alabama Jams for putting us out there. And everybody stay tuned. We have Credenda coming up next.